If you've ever laid in bed exhausted but unable to sleep, you know how frustrating it can be. And at some point, you've probably been told to try magnesium. But before you spend money on another supplement, let's answer the question that really matters. I'm Dr. Elizabeth Miller, and today I'll answer what the science actually says about magnesium and sleep. If you search for natural sleep solutions online, you've probably seen magnesium recommendations dozens of times. It's often described as one of the best supplements for sleep. But does the research actually support that claim? The honest answer is yes and no. Because magnesium is not a sleeping pill, it's not melatonin, and it's not going to knock you out 30 minutes after taking it. What magnesium appears to do is something more subtle. For the right person, it may help create the conditions for better sleep, but for the wrong person, it might just do very little. So today we're going to look at what the studies actually show. The biggest misconception is that magnesium directly causes sleep. That's not really how it works, so think about it this way. If someone is iron deficient and exhausted, taking an iron supplement doesn't just give them energy like a cup of coffee. It helps correct a problem that may have been contributing to fatigue over a long period of time. Magnesium appears to work similarly, so if poor magnesium status is contributing to sleep issues, restoring adequate levels may actually improve sleep quality. But if magnesium status is already optimal, the effects are probably going to be much smaller. This explains why some people swear magnesium changed their lives, while other people just notice nothing. Let's look at the human data. So one of the most commonly cited studies looked at older adults with insomnia. Researchers found improvements in sleep efficiency, total sleep time, time needed to fall asleep, and early morning awakenings. So in simple terms, participants generally slept better. Sounds great, but here's the nuance. When researchers pulled multiple studies together in systematic reviews, the results became less dramatic. So some studies showed meaningful improvements where only some showed small benefits and a few showed little difference at all. So the overall conclusion isn't that magnesium is a miracle sleep supplement, is that magnesium appears to be helpful in certain populations. So who seems to benefit the most? When you look across the research, certain groups show up repeatedly. People who appear most likely to benefit would include older adults, individuals with poor dietary intake of magnesium, people under high stress, individuals with low magnesium status, and those with mild sleep disturbances. So in other words, magnesium may be more helpful when there's actually a problem to solve, which makes a lot of sense. The average North American diet often falls short of magnesium-rich foods like nuts, seeds, legumes, and leafy greens. Some estimates suggest a large percentage of adults consume less magnesium than recommended. So for many people, magnesium supplementation might be filling a nutritional gap. Why does stress matter so much? One of the most interesting findings in sleep research is how closely sleep and stress are connected. Many people don't have a sleep problem, they have a stress problem that's showing up as a sleep problem. Their minds are racing, their body feels wired, they wake up at 3 a.m. thinking about work, they're exhausted but just can't relax. So this is where magnesium may have its greatest value. Not because it sedates you, but because it supports a healthy nervous system. That's a very different claim, and one that's much more consistent with the available evidence. What about magnesium bisglycinate? Now this is usually the point where people ask, okay, but what magnesium should I take? For sleep, magnesium glycinate tends to be one of the most popular options. A 2025 randomized controlled trial found that 250 milligrams of elemental magnesium as a bisglycinate form improved insomnia severity over 4 weeks. So this form combines a well-absorbed form of magnesium with glycine, an amino acid that has also been studied for its role in sleep and relaxation. It's also less likely to cause digestive side effects compared to other forms like citrate. So that's why practitioners usually choose glycinate when sleep support is the primary goal. What magnesium will not do. So this might be the most important part of today's episode. Magnesium won't replace good sleep habits. It's not going to cancel out excessive caffeine. It's not going to fix a sleep disorder, eliminate chronic stress, or work like a prescription sleeping medication. So if somebody's sleeping 4 hours a night because they're working until midnight, scrolling until 1 a.m., drinking 3 coffees after dinner, magnesium is probably not the solution. Sleep is always bigger than a supplement. So is it worth trying? For many people, yes. Magnesium is relatively inexpensive, generally well tolerated, and there's enough evidence to suggest it may improve sleep quality in some individuals. Just keep your expectations realistic. The goal isn't sedation, it's more for support. And sometimes supporting the body's natural sleep process is exactly what is needed. So to wrap up, does magnesium actually help with sleep? The evidence suggests it can, especially if you're stressed, not getting enough magnesium in your diet, or experiencing mild sleep difficulties. but it's not a miracle supplement and it's not a sleeping pill. It's simply a tool that may help support better sleep when used as part of the bigger picture approach. In our next episode, we're going to dive deeper into optimal timing of when to take magnesium. And if you'd like our free guide comparing all the major forms of magnesium and what each one is best used for, click the link below. And as always, everything you learned here is not direct medical advice, so please talk to your medical provider. I'll see you in the next episode.